welcome to this week's episode. And in this week's episode, you might have already seen I've uploaded some videos of what I've been messing around with. Just a little bit of stuff in my free time. I'm just going to open up a project on my laptop and I'm going to show you the first screen that has arrived on my Mac. But before we do, just this, and then we'll get into it. This is what I've been up to on the Mac. Right, let me get myself back a bit so you can actually see me. Now, I've been trying to get these sweets out of the way. Mac Mini M1. There it is there, okay? Ignore the mess on the desk, please. The Mac Mini M1 is supposed to be like the best Mac ever for an entry-level Mac that's cheap. Okay, I picked one up off of somebody I knew recently, and I just thought, it'd be good to test it before I decide to sell my Intel Mac. Now, I've seen a few comments back and forth regarding the concern about this, but nobody's really said anything, which has surprised me, because obviously there's just a lot of people out there who just don't care about their workflow. Either that, or they're just using Logic with nothing but the bog standard plugins, but I have honestly found it to be so unreliable for just switching over to in one foul swoop that I'm just not going to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great to have it here, I can test it. Now, I can tell you this, performance-wise, it's okay. It's definitely not the same as the i9 Mac, that's for sure, from what I've seen so far. I can run about 2/3 of the amount of the Diva VSTAU plugin, which is a really good emulation of a lot of vintage synths in one package. And it's one of the most popular ones out there, and there's no way it can run as well as it does on an i9 2019 8-core 16 gig of RAM spec'd out Mac like mine here. That's what I've got here. I was looking at whether or not this one here, okay, could be outdone by its little friend around here, and it can't. I'm sorry, but if anybody says otherwise, they are having you on. Either that or they're endorsed by Apple, in my view, because there's no way that machine is as reliable as this one here. The Intel machine is just... Okay, let me get a few things out of the way first of all. If you're using... So on this screen here, I have the Mac Mini. If you're using this one, okay, with nothing else other than the bog standard stuff that Apple chuck on there, it's fine. It's quite nippy. But once you get into using things like Logic and stuff, it is nowhere near as smooth and nice an experience as it is to use it on the i9. Okay, there's a few things to bear in mind. I was looking at whether or not to drop and go to the Air. Now, why would I want to go from this machine to a MacBook Air? Mainly weight. Okay, I liked the weight of the 13-inch the 13-inch M1 Mac Air. It was really nice weight when I tried it out. So I thought I would do that and get rid of this machine. But the Mac Mini let me try it out, and the Mac Mini has actually got a little bit more in it because it's got a fan, so it can thermal throttle better without like diminishing the speed too much, because it's got a fan to cool it down, so it won't thermal throttle as much. But I can't do it. I can't switch. It's just too unreliable. I mean, I've loaded up projects. I've got things crashing and going on all over the place. So let's have a look and see which things are going wrong on here. So I'm not going to screen share because I haven't set all that up yet on this machine. First of all, I start up Logic and I already have strange plugins not starting up. Now, I know some of you will say yes, but they're not supported. But I was under the impression that with the Rosetta and everything, it should be fairly easy to get this working. But what's weird is this is Decapitator by Sound Toys, which I've shown on here, I know and love. And it says it can't be opened, but it does open it. So that's a bit weird. What else have I got on here? I've got one of my SSL Duende plugins. Well, they used to be Duende, but they're not anymore. They're just the channel strips. Okay, these ones, for some reason, the bus compressor successfully validated. and the SSL native channel strip failed validation. So that's my first selection of craziness going on in here. Now, I've already gone on in one of my previous videos to show you how when I open up this project here, it is running not Silent, sorry, it is running Spire. Okay, I've taken out the iLock, yes, so ignore these for now, because the iLock's plugged into my i9 here. But basically, I have found one particular preset in Spire that causes Spire to crash the audio engine. Okay, I'm just ignoring all these for a moment. These literally, so there are little errors here and there because I haven't installed all the plugins yet for the particular session. I usually install all the plugins after I've worked out what's needed on the session. But as I've shown you, I have Spire here, and for some reason, when it is set to this SQ Red Mouse DP preset here, it just causes the audio engine to go and crash. So I can't successfully say I can use it. Actually, if you have a look already, something weird's already going on there on the input. Look. Oh, you can already hear from me just pressing spacebar there, and then you heard a click. This is the sort of crap I'm having to put up with on this machine. So I haven't done any further testing as of yet. This is where I'm at with the systems. I'm going to keep looking at the M1. I've got my Mac Mini to play with. It's only an 8 gig of RAM, okay? But if you go into, there's a tool on here called the Activity Monitor, okay? You can see that the CPU load is very low. The memory pressure is very low as well. Considering I'm running a whole project here, I know some of the stuff isn't loaded up yet, but the thing can cope, all right? It's got nothing to do with the performance of the chip, with these issues that I'm experiencing with Spire. It's to do with the coding of the software. It's not ready. It might be fast. It might give great benchmarks on different platforms, but this is just rubbish, useless information to me. I don't care whether it can run to the moon and back. You know, it's not really what I need it to do. I need it to just play my project files successfully, and I can't blame Apple for everything, but it still doesn't matter. We're at the stage we're at, and it's just not ready for use. I want it to be ready for use, of course I do, because I was really hoping to get rid of this heavy i9 Mac. But obviously, because there's a lot of people out there going, oh, well, they're going to get rid of all this and everything. And it's like, I personally would stick around with Intel for at least another couple of years until because I keep hearing people saying that they're going to sort all this out. Well, great. They might do that. They might push it. They may sort everything out in time. But I tell you what, if you just want an easy life for a bit, these i9 Macs, whilst they are a bit whispery with the wind sound that comes out the fans, they work. They're reliable, they're smooth, every plugin works on there pretty much. You've got all the features of Logic that you could possibly need in there at the moment. Even the Dolby Atmos stuff works in the latest version. So I don't think that the Intel stuff's going to go anywhere just yet. And I know that Apple will continue to support it for at least another few years. So if anything, I just wanted this to be a video that gave you an assurance that if you're going to get yourself a Mac, an M1, fair enough. If you've already got one, stick with it. People are flogging these things off like they're worthless. I think I've seen people selling off these machines which are well over £2,000 new, selling them for like less than half the price that they bought them for. And they're idiots because they're going to end up with a system that doesn't work properly, especially if they're trying to open up their old projects. It just doesn't make sense to me. The power of these i9s is really adequate, great, and this works really well. And plus, you've got still got the big screen on the old Pro, so you might as well stick with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at my view of the MacBook and the Mac and the M1 processor and what it's really meaning for everybody. It's not performance-wise related, remember that. So I will continue to test the system. and update you if I find anything more out on there. I certainly am not trying to sort of say that I'm slating it. I'm just saying it's not ready yet. I'm sure in a few years' time it'll be mind-blowing how good these computers are. So don't think that I'm putting down the system completely. I'm just telling you at the moment, don't go there if you've got an Intel Mac. Hang fire for a bit longer, maybe another year or so. Anyway, with other news, Pickles is doing all right. She's much better than she was. I remember in the previous vlog we took her, well, episode, we took her to the vets, and she's doing okay now. She's on a fibre supplement which we put into her food, which is helping her out. And I found some interesting news out about Pickles as well, which I thought I'd just share with you. Her original name, because I was digging through a load of paperwork earlier, was Bella. That was her name from birth. I can't remember. She had some crazy full family name type thing, but her name was Bella. I'm glad I named her Pickles because certainly she prefers that name, I think. She's much happier with that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed checking out what the M1 really means and how it's going to actually apply to you working within in a Logic Pro based environment of making music, the practicalities and everything else. I'll keep you updated and I will catch you either throughout the week again or next weekend. Keep an eye out. There's all sorts of stuff going up at the moment. I'm just having fun really uploading videos and just enjoying myself with it rather than having to squash everything all into one episode at the end of the week. So catch you later.